Wednesday afternoon.
Check me out.
And what's up, folks? Welcome back to another episode of the Water Cooler. Levi, love the Bobby Boucher jersey. Looking good.
Let's go, baby.
Y'all be sure to like, share, subscribe, check us out. We've been posting a lot on TikTok here lately. Be sure to check that out. Got some sweet merch up in millions.com. You can buy it all there. And let's get into March Madness because it is March 27th, which means we are right in the thick of things. We got the Sweet 16 starting this week. The matchups are UConn versus San Diego State, Illinois v. Iowa State, Bama v. UNC, Clemson v. Arizona, Houston v. Duke, NC State v. Marquette, Purdue v. Gonzaga, and Creighton v. Tennessee. And so far, we have already seen some wild matchups. We had Oakland beating Kentucky 80-76 after Jack Golke hit 10 threes in a game, which was one away from tying the NCAA record.
That close.
This close.
That close.
Man, if I were him, I'd have been like, y'all feed me the ball. Like, I'm breaking it.
After the 8th, I'm over here. Just bring me the ball.
Bama almost got upset by Grand Canyon, survived by the skin of their teeth. I didn't even realize Grand Canyon was an actual school with athletics and stuff. I thought they were just that college that always blows up YouTube ads.
4 hours away from the Grand Canyon itself, which actually cracked me up. Like, it's not even anywhere remotely near the Grand Canyon, nor does it have any kind of representation of the Grand Canyon. It's literally just called Grand Canyon University. That's sick.
Dude, could you imagine being the mascot? Like, you just run out like you are the Grand Canyon, just like a massive brown bowl.
Right. Just like, I don't even know how to explain that kind of jersey. Like, you khaki jerseyed up. You wear khaki shorts, khaki shirt.
Your mascot's like a giant cactus because aside from
Go Seas,
that could get taken very badly.
Yeah. Sorry, go Canyons, baby.
Yeah.
Can't be throwing that stuff out.
Yeah, man. What are you thinking about March Madness so far?
It has been, honestly, it's been better than I even expected. Because, like, there was a bunch of hype because, obviously, Caitlin Clark and all that. There was a bunch of hype around the women's tournament this year and all that. And so to see the men's tournament pop off kind of and actually be worth watching, it's got my take. I thoroughly enjoy watching it.
I'll be honest, though. I'm more interested in Caitlin Clark than anything that's going on in the men's tournament right now.
And not even just Caitlin Clark. I just said that because most people talk about it. But you got to think, the South Carolina women's basketball team are 34-0 right now. They're back-to-back undefeated seasons. And they're 101-3 or 104-3 in their last 3 seasons. They've back-to-back SEC champions or back-to-back. They'll be back-to-back national champions or SEC champions, but they've been SEC champions 8 out of the last 10 years as well. So I mean, dude, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Like, women's college basketball it's actually pretty dang in good hands right now.
Oh, absolutely. I would argue, like, its current trajectory is a lot better than men's college basketball. If men's college basketball doesn't do something to shake up their system, then I'm worried about it because I haven't cared this little about March Madness, to be completely honest, in a long time. Like, since
I knew what it was. Like, if you think about it, since I've known what March Madness was or, like, even remotely had an idea of it, I've always cared. I've made 50 brackets a year, and I made one this year, and it got busted the Oakland night. So it's like, dude, this isn't even fun anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I couldn't name 10 men's college basketball players right now, if I'm being completely honest.
I don't think I can name 10. I might can name 5, but I don't think I can name 10 for sure. There's no way.
I think that's the big difference between the men's and the women's NCAA tournament. Is the NCAA women's, that is where the best women's college age basketball players is in that tournament. With the men's, all of the men's best players at that age are either in Europe or they're in the D-League.
D-League and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or they don't even go to school. Like they go to a prep school, or they end up going to in Atlanta, for example, they have, I think it's OEL or something like that. But it's basically where the Thompson twins, who got drafted this past year, they went there. They didn't go to college or nothing. They just went straight to I think it's OEL is what it's called, but it's in Atlanta, and you can drive by it and you can watch them play. You can go watch and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool to like help the kids out, but there's just there's not that, like the JJ Reddicks and the just like people like that from back in the day.
Like Derrick
Yeah,
Rose or
exactly.
people.
There's no big branded name in college basketball anymore. Like even I think when Coach K retired, it was already downhill. But really, when Coach K retired, it's almost like who's even who anymore? Like who are these guys to an extent? Coach K and Roy Williams from UNC, like they had such, I don't even know how to explain. They had such a grasp on the game itself that they changed college basketball and the narrative that people looked at it. Now, since they're gone, it's almost like people have just taken a step back and they're like, I don't really care anymore.
I mean, I think Zion is probably the last college basketball superstar to come through. Like, the biggest star in college basketball right now is Bronny James, which is sad since he averages 5.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're just basing it off people who don't like
college and people keeping up with what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, that really, honestly, and the only reason he's that is because it's LeBron's son. It's not like he's even done anything reasonably like decent. Like he's averaging like 4 points a game, if that, right now. Like that's that's the bad part. And the bad part about it is you give these kids with a name an opportunity to be like their dads were, but 9 times out of 10 they will never be, or probably won't ever live up to that kind of hype. So their whole childhood and early teen years are just a big hype train, and then they get to college and it's a bust. And it's like, this is why we don't want to watch college basketball anymore. These kids don't care.
End up like Lonzo Ball.
Exactly.
He's still the Bulls. Like
he got cleared to play actually this past, I think last month, maybe 2 months ago. He got actually cleared for all basketball, I guess.
Yeah.
He can play.
Like, Lonzo Ball, most of it was because of his dad, but he had so much hype going into UCLA, and he coming out of the draft, and he just bottomed out completely. Now, a lot of it was unfair to put
that jump shot
on him, but it was bad.
When you shoot your jump shot and you go across your body instead of going up, that's pretty bad.
Did you ever see that YouTube video back in the day that was like Lonzo Ball of Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical?
Mm-mm.
It went viral back like right before Lonzo's draft, and like that's the level of hype people were putting on him.
Yeah. And when he dropped that kid in high school and he helped him up, do you remember that? Like he did the ankle breaker, and then he goes over to the kid, helps pick him up or whatever. Dude, that was cold blooded. I will give him that.
Was it Lonzo or LaMelo that scored over 100 points in a game?
Right. Melo scored 92.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Nice, cool.
And give it props to Melo. He's actually done pretty well.
He did the best out of all of them, which honestly surprised me. But it does, but it doesn't. I kind of figured Jello would end up the way he did because, I mean, he cared about ball, but he was just like, you got 3 of them. Probably 2 of them are going to be good. There's always the oddball out, kind of like, not trying to be mean or anything, but that's usually how it goes. And so I figured he would
be the Plumleys.
Yeah, right.
That would suck to have like 3 kids make the NBA and none of them are good.
Yeah, they all are just like mediocre. What is it, Mason Plumlee? The blonde-headed one?
Miles.
Yeah, Mason is, I think it's Mason. He still plays.
I just remember that in 2K, every time I was like, my player was always, we were going up against a team that had like Plumlee on it. I was like, barbecue chicken.
Let's go, boys. I'm finna eat.
Looking at the Sweet 16 lineup, though, like, you got any upset alerts you think people should be on the lookout for?
Honestly, not really. Watch out for NC State versus Marquette. That's going to be a good game. But other than that, Bama versus UNC. Probably
UNC.
one of the bigger ones. Yeah, they're gonna win, but I think Bama actually shows some heart to this tomorrow, and I think they actually may make it a closer game than people are expecting. But
What about
my one
a
game,
lot of people talking about Duke possibly pulling one over on Houston.
that I can see it happening. That's the biggest game, definitely the biggest game out of the whole Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna bring that up last because I'm so like stuck on who to pick. Because I mean, Houston's gonna win because Houston's just an all-out, all-around defense first, rebound second, then score. Like that's how they play. So I don't know. I don't see anybody beating Houston.
Yeah.
We don't.
How about Clemson? You see them?
I don't think they'll do much. I want to give them credit. I kind of want to give them hope and hope they kind of do something, but I just don't see that happening.
Now, did you see the NCAA is looking to ban prop betting on players?
I haven't heard it. I haven't looked into it. I heard something about it where we kind of talked about it for a split second, but I haven't really looked too much into it.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's just their way of trying to curtail the amount of influence betting can have. But for those who don't know, do you want to explain what a prop bet is?
So basically, it's kind of like if you and your buddy, like, hey, I got $50 on the game, but I want to make another bet for someone to have 20 points and 10 rebounds. That would be the prop bet. So you take the real bet would be the game, and then the prop bet would be the player, or if he has the X amount of points, rebounds, assists, etc. That's kind of just a prop bet that gets thrown in with a bigger bet.
Yeah, so I think what the NCAA is probably worried about is a player knowing that people have money put on him to hit certain stats, focusing and caring more about hitting their prop bets and maybe taking a cut out of the winnings there instead of actually focusing on winning the game. Because that could change how you approach it.
Exactly, and that could destroy the game of college basketball and in any kind of college athletic sport, whatever it is. That would just completely ruin it. I mean, and that's why they don't let professionals bet and all that stuff, because simply just make someone go out there, do the slightest bit possible, or do the worst possible they could do, and ruin or throw a game. And next thing you know, it's like, what's going on? How did LaMelo Ball come out and only have 2 points and 1 assist against the Charlotte Hornets, or he plays for the Hornets with Hawks or something? God, what are we doing?
It's definitely not going to be because of the Hawks lockdown defense. That's
No. But speaking of betting, and kind of like jump around basketball a little bit, but betting, a big storyline this week with the number one. I guess he was the number one player in the AL last year. Now he should be number 2 behind Ronald Acuna. Shohei Ohtani and his controversy with the translator. What is going on? So basically, if you guys haven't heard, Shohei Ohtani has a translator. He's Japanese, come to America, play ball and all that. So $4.5 million, I believe, in total was sent back home to a bookie for him or for his translator or whatever in their hometown, wherever they're from. And the translator lied to Shohei Ohtani, made up stories about where all the money went and all that. Stories really don't add up, and they're very sporadic on the translator's end. But basically, you got caught betting with Shohei Ohtani's money on a bunch of different stuff. Like, there was a bunch of different stuff. And I think that the calculations of $4.5 million in America to Japanese yen was like $780 million. I think that's what it came out to be. So, what is your take on the translator who decided to steal?
So Shohei came out and said that he had no knowledge of his translator using his money to bet. And look, if you took $400 from my bank account, I think I would pay enough attention to notice. If you
time out. When you say that, you got to think he just signed a $700 million deal and is guaranteed like $60 million, $68 million a year.
Yeah, $4.5 million to Shohei
He's not, yeah, but to the
It's
regular.
not, it's not even the equivalent of $400 to me. That would be
No,
like,
but yeah, I get what you're saying. But like, to really let people understand how big of a perspective we're talking, like what he's making compared to like kind of what he lost is like I could see how. I mean, I'm not trying to say the translator's right any way, shape, or form. I'm
yeah.
not saying it like that, but
Come on, man. Look, what's $4 million to you? Let me make my money.
well, you don't blame him. He's just being a dude.
I thought we were friends, Shohei.
Yeah, I thought you could trust me, dog. You're taking my money. No, I'm trying to help you.
Dude, trust me. I got this $4 million. I'll make it 12.
Yeah, exactly. I'll make it 700 or 780 million if you want me to. But
Yeah.
it's just I see how he didn't really notice it, but at the same time, like I don't care if you have $1 trillion. Like you're gonna notice $4.5 million get taken out of your bank account, no matter what you do, no matter who you are.
I mean, I don't know how celebrity banking works, but I would imagine like if I spend $100 at the gas station driving home, I'll go to law school in Washington. I get a message saying, "Hey, was this you?" Like you would think if he's betting like 4.5 million, somebody from his bank would give him a call and say, "Hey, man, like before this clears, like we're gonna send you a pin, log in with your email and clear it real quick."
Which it could make
Maybe he
sense.
gave the phone to his translator when he got the email.
Yeah, that's where I was about to say. Is like it makes sense, kinda, because Shohei didn't really understand what was going on. Says he doesn't, but I mean he needs a translator for a reason. So it's like I really don't know if the translator just yipped him. Really, it's such a weird situation. It's like really hard.
There's a reason it's called plausible deniability. Shohei, is it plausible that he had no idea any of this was happening? It definitely, like, there is a way in which it definitely could have happened without him knowing about it. Like you said, he makes so much money, what's 4.5 mil? Is it likely that he had no idea? That's a different discussion.
Yeah,
You can't be as definitive about whether or not did he know, did he not know. All I know is that this is probably going to be a story that hovers over the Dodgers for the entire season. And with Shohei coming off an injury right now, trying to get back in the groove of things, it's the last thing that he needs to be having to deal with, which is
big time. This is like, and it just, it just doesn't make sense because at the end of the day, right? Like, does the translator just take his phone and go through his stuff and like come over later because he knows like Japanese and English and he can kind of do what he wants with the telephone communications? Like, there's just so many different questions you can ask, and like I think that all 162 baseball games this season, something about that will be brought up no matter what happens. Whether they find out Shohei had absolutely zero to do with it or he did, it's definitely going to be a hovering dark cloud, like you said, for the rest of the season. And if not, maybe even the rest of his career.
Yeah. I mean, MLB, they don't mess around when it comes to gambling violations. I know they're all dead now, but look at the Black Sox, look at Pete Rose. They even banned Mickey Mantle and I think it was Willie Mays from baseball for like 5 years back in the 60s after they retired because they were doing gambling type stuff at Vegas.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to banking, but as far as I know, there's really only three circumstances that could have happened here. Either one, because Shohei has a translator, his translator signed some sort of form to be a co-owner of, like, to have his name on Shohei's accounts in order to help with the translation stuff.
Right.
He just knew Shohei's password and logged in without Shohei's permission and basically like snuck into his accounts. Or Shohei was giving him access to his money.
Yeah, there's only three ways.
Only three options I can see happening here.
Yep. And I mean,
the MLB is going to have to investigate.
It's going to be a long, long investigation, I believe.
Now, how concerned are you that in the translator's initial statement, he said that Shohei was the one who helped him pay off of his debts or pay for his debts. And then a day later, he changed because that was the initial statement.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He helped him here. He helped him pay off his debts and all that kind of stuff. So either he gave him $4.5 million to clear his name, or he was. You just like there's so many rabbit holes that they're jumping through. Like, okay, well, did he do this at this time, or did he go there and do this? Like, it's really just comes down to, is Shohei ever going to be truly honest about the situation? Meaning, if he really did it, is he going to say something? And if he really didn't, how are we going to know? Like, he's the only person who can actually prove this to be real, fake, drama, whatever you want to call it. He's the only person. Because now the translator's got 5 different stories, like you're saying. Shohei's, he said that he had nothing to do with it. So it's like, obviously no one's going to believe the translator now. I mean, he's a lying thief. That's what everybody thinks. Shohei, they love him. So it's like, dude, you got to really be honest here and really like, if you had something to do with it, now's the time to say something.
Yeah.
Because if you like in that situation, you are screwed. Mm-hmm. It's like my mind. I get it just talking about so many different things and topics with it because that's where my mind is with it. Like there's so many different questions and topics that you can go with. It's crazy.
Now, when it comes to great athletes, though, sometimes getting put in a situation like this, the best medicine is winning. Because if you look at Barry Bonds during all the steroid allegation stuff, he would go out. People would say, "Barry, are you doing roids?" He'd go out and hit 5 home runs in the series.
Exactly. Exactly.
Tom Brady, after the Deflategate, came back and won a ring. And after that, nobody was talking about Deflategate. So if Shohei and the Dodgers can use this as fuel, I think that would be the best way for them to put this story back.
For sure. Like,
opening day is tomorrow, so we will see exactly what impact this has on Shohei's game because Dodgers are playing the Cardinals. That'll be a fun matchup. Braves are playing the Phillies.
Braves and Phillies got moved to Friday, actually.
Oh, really?
Braves and Phillies, yeah. Philadelphia's supposed to be rain tomorrow. I think they changed the game. 3:05, same start time as tomorrow, but it's actually going to be on Friday instead of tomorrow. That's the only game that's had any kind of change in the schedule whatsoever.
I hope the Braves can get a good revenge series to start off their season after the way the Phillies just embarrassed them.
That would be huge. That would be huge. Another one I'm ready to see, though, is the Yankees and Astros, kind of. I know the Astros they're still the Stros. I mean, they're still just good as they always have been. But now the Yankees, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Garrett Cole, like they're not looking bad.
Rob Manfred is dreaming every night of an L.A. New York World Series.
Oh my God!
Dude, if that happens, dude, I think that would be good for baseball. Honestly, I know I generally don't like seeing the big market teams dominate like that, but the Yankees haven't been World Series contenders in over a decade now, and the Dodgers have some of the biggest stars. Like if you have a World Series where you have Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Gina Carter, like that would be the most star-packed.
That would be the most watched.
Like that could actually get people caring about baseball again.
Yeah, like ever, the most watched ever, in my opinion. I think it would be.
But go Braves. So I'm rooting for Braves and Yankees. We get some revenge on that 99 World Series and the 96 World Series and 97. The Yankees beat us like a drum in the late 90s.
Dude, God, they killed us every time. It was like embarrassing almost to even like talk about. Like I couldn't imagine being a Braves fan in the 90s, like having all that like such good talent, and yet it just was like the Yankees. It's like,
the only thing that could possibly be worse than being a Braves fan in the 90s was being a Bills fan in the 90s.
Oh, God, yeah. What was it, 4 Super Bowls and they lost them all?
4 in a row, lost all 4. At least the Braves had 1. Now, they made the playoffs 14 times in a row, only got 1 World Series to show for it, but that one goes a long way. Yeah, 4 Super Bowls in a row with nothing.
And all L's, dude, that's tragic.
Especially the way the Bills lost all those Super Bowls. It was always like this close. Like,
right. Freaking Jim Kelly.
yeah, or what's Thurman Thomas forgetting to put his helmet on? You ever hear about that? Yeah, dude. He was off the field because it was the defense was out, and he lost his helmet. And when it was time for the offense to go in, he couldn't find his helmet, and they couldn't get him one in time, so they had to send out the backup. And Thurman Thomas was like the best running back in the NFL. Yeah, so ended up
I
costing
didn't know that happened. That's wild.
Like, imagine being the poor like water boy who like moves the helmet to like wash off the bleacher real quick.
Get to the locker room to clean it up or something like that. Cause I need a new chin strap. Okay, I'll go get you one. It's like, how caused us to lose the Super Bowl? That would be my luck.
Yeah,
That
you
would
were right.
Yeah, that would be my luck 100%. Be like, hey, Thurman, here's your helmet. I needed it 10 plays ago, you idiot. We lost the Super Bowl because of you. Oh, cool. Should have called the water boy.
Yeah. That was a great time right there.
Gotcha.
The water boy by the water cooler.
Yeah. But my mama said, watch the water cooler on Millions.
That should be our new intro.
Yeah. Hey, did the water boy, and you are listening to the water cooler on Millions. Oh, clip it, chat. Clip it. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, I'm excited for baseball season to start, man. It is that time of the year again. Got to cut the grass this weekend. Whoo, I'm excited. Excited.
Springtime is here.
It is. It is. So now, on to, let's get into some NBA real quick, and then we will end it off with talking about, I guess, WrestleMania and what we got coming up for that.
Good with me. Now, we referenced earlier the Hawks not being very good at defense, but they did manage to hold the Celtics down in the second quarter last night. Celtics blew a 30-point lead against the Hawks. The Hawks pulled it out 130-128 without Trae Young.
Peace up, A-Town down. Let's go, Hawks. That's a good team W, dude. That's like, you have to win that game type. Like, you know what I mean? And I listened to the radio 92.9 The Game and all that stuff, dude. And they had a player been in the Hawks G League system for a few years now. I can't quite remember his name because he's like European. He's got one of those Russian, I can't even name him. But he ended up talking about how they came back and bounced back in the second half. And the energy and the chemistry and all that, dude, it's there. Like, I think the Hawks can finally win a playoff game and make it to at least the first round. Like, if we can get past the play-in game, we can make it to the first round. There's a fighting chance. But we've been playing the Celtics, and I don't see us beating the Celtics in a 7-game series at all.
Yeah, dude. I don't know about playing the Celtics in the first round if we could sneak in the play-in. That'd be a pretty tough challenge, but they did it last night. The Celtics, they got off to a hot start, and it was 44-22 at the end of the first, 74-56 at the half. And, I mean, it pretty much was just a tale of two halves. The Celtics dominated the first half and couldn't maintain, and then the Hawks pulled it out and ended up beating them in the second half, 64-44.
And if you think about it, dude, with the Celtics being in first place, 57-17 or 57-15 with the best record, they've had 7 blown 10-point leads this season. Does that say they can't finish?
I think it does. At the very least, it means if you're a team playing the Celtics and you're down by 15, then you shouldn't be as worried as you normally would be.
No. And I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Celtics are the highest shooting three-point team in the league, and it's pretty simple. When the shots aren't falling, you're not going to put any points on the board, and you're going to end up blowing that lead because the Celtics missed 16 straight threes last night.
And
I mean,
another
when
big
you're
thing,
you got to have something to fall back on.
the Celtics shot 28% last night from three. So I mean, if like you're saying, if you can't hit the bright side of a barn, why not drive the ball? Despite Tatum having 20 or 37, Jaylen Brown having 24, like you got to get to the paint. You got to let the big man eat. They got Kristaps Porzingis. Like let the big man eat against the Hawks. Come on.
I mean, all you got to do, have Tatum go in, drive, and finish, try to draw a foul. If not, do a little Magic Johnson style behind the back in the paint. Just
Right.
or out.
I mean, it blows my mind. Why are teams
like a little pump fake?
Sorry, keep going.
I was gonna say, I mean, one of my favorite moves in basketball. You're standing at the three, you get the ball, pump fake, take it in, and do just 2 dribbles. Nice mid-range jumper, easy. That's like basketball 101. If that's your bread and butter, then and you're missing 16 straight threes, maybe just bring it in a little bit.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to me how you can miss 16 threes in a row and still shoot 3. Like why? Like it's like why be so dedicated to the 3-point shot? Mm-hmm. What is like? I understand it's 1 more point than 2, but I mean, like,
analytics only get you so far. Common sense has to kick in at some point.
Exactly. It's like, dude. I mean, I can't make a penny in the dang jar right now. So let me go get a dang quarter and try even closer. Maybe I can make something. Like, come on, man. Like, and the basket is so much bigger when you're in the paint. There is such a bigger basket to play with, a bigger rim, a bigger everything. When you are in the paint, when you're inside the free throw line, the basket is so much bigger. Why not use that to your advantage? It just doesn't. And you're the number 1 team in the East. I get it. You're playing a team. You're up by 30 at half. You're kind of, it's over with.
We're part of the regular season where people.
I'm going to Magic City after this. I'm going to get me some wings. I'm not too worried about it. I'm fine. It's like, do that after win the game first, and then act like that. Can't act like that at halftime.
No, definitely not. And as much as the Celtics did lose that game, the Hawks, they won. They just played good team basketball. They had not a single player score over 25 points, and over 6 scored over 10 points. Like, that is about as beautiful of a stat line as you can hope to see. If I'm the Hawks coach, I'm big ups. Magic City wings on me after the game.
Hey! And they had 21 assists last night. So it's like the Hawks were just rolling.
I mean, they had 30. The Celtics had 21. So with that assist differential right there, that's 18 points just right on the face of it.
So it's like, it just as a Hawks fan, you love to see it. But obviously not a Celtics fan. But if it was a Celtics fan, I'm asking myself, what happened? What are we thinking? What are we doing? Please don't make this an every game type thing. Like, please don't.
And I mean, one of those leads, I know we said, like, they've blown a 15-pointer higher lead, like, over 4 times now. One of those leads was a 22-pointer. So, like, there's some pretty hefty choke jobs on the Celtics this season. If I'm their coach, like, you got to sit them down and knock heads together and do something.
Yeah, but we got to figure that train out because that is not good. You got to be able to finish.
Now, we'll have to keep a lookout for what happens on Friday because they're playing the Hawks again. And as fun as it is to be an Atlanta fan right now, if I had to guess, I would say the Celtics are going to come out gunning, have a little quick revenge game of their own before they head back to Boston.
I guarantee you the Celtics will win by 25 next game.
Yeah, probably.
Speaking of another blowout in the NBA, though, did you hear about the Lakers and the Bucks last night?
Dude, that was crazy. Any game that goes a double overtime is a game I wish I would have watched.
No, I cut it on last night. I saw NBA was on TNT, so I was like, ooh, basketball. Then it said the Kings and somebody was playing, so I was like, oh, heck yeah, I'll watch this. And it ended up being that game in double overtime. And I cannot believe Giannis, Dame, Brooke Lopez, all those guys,
Chris
like,
Middleton.
they just choked.
Mhm.
Malik Beasley, I will say this. Georgia native from Marietta, went to St. Francis. He is like one of the best 3-point shooters in the game right now. And he missed, I want to say, 4 or 5 baskets in a row in crunch time last night against the Lakers. And I was watching that and I was like, dang, dude, make you feel bad for someone.
hmm I mean, especially because the Bucks were up 19 in the fourth quarter.
In the
Like,
fourth with like 7 something to play.
Like, it's one thing for the Celtics to blow a 30-point lead when they're up that much at halftime. Like, it gives them 2 whole quarters to blow it. The Bucks blew it in less than 12 minutes.
They had 7:54 left or 7:49, something like that, and that's when the Lakers started their comeback. Without LeBron, their 600 winning percentage without LeBron and their 548 winning percentage with LeBron.
What does that say?
It's time to retire. Leave the league.
I mean, if Anthony Davis was able to play like this consistently, he would be the face of the Lakers right now. But AD's consistency, with LeBron's injury proneness these days, it's just not a good recipe. That's why the Lakers are the 10th seed right now, or the 9th seed. Like, it's just, they just can't ever get together at the right time.
And another thing, my bad, go.
I was gonna say somebody that can't get it together in crunch time is Giannis, because dude, he missed 2 crucial free throws when they were down 3 with 20 seconds left. Like, that kind of stuff, you just can't have that from your star player.
So if he makes one of those threes, makes one of those free throws, I forgot who it was, but they hit a 3 with like 9 seconds left, maybe even 6 seconds left. Had they made that 3 and he made that free throw to tie game, that's a complete game changer right there. That's what you're getting at. Is Giannis has to go down as greatness. I know Shaq obviously was the worst free throw shooter ever, but he was, in my opinion, obviously way more dominant as a big man than Giannis is. But Giannis has that kind of ability to be dominant, but he could use the free throw line, and he even shoots threes, but he could use the free throw line to his ability. Like, that's something that he needs to, like, understand, I guess you could say. He's got to use all of the game, not just be the dominant big man like Shaq was. He's got to use the whole 9 yards.
Dude, if Giannis could shoot free throws, he would never have to shoot a 3-pointer again. He would be the king of the and one.
Like, that's what and it just doesn't make sense how you don't. I mean, I'm sure he works on it constantly, but that's something that I would be shooting 1,000 free throws every day, 500 free throws every single day. Like, that's his bread and butter. Like, that is an and one layup. Let me get my 3-pointer. That's my 3. There you go.
Well, that begs the question, though: is it the free throws that are the problem, or is it the pressure situation of shooting free throws in a live game?
Definitely the pressure situation, because you know how the crowd is when he starts getting up there. They start counting, gets in his head. He's probably worried about, I got time and all this. So he definitely, you can tell he rushes the heck out of his process. Now in practice, I'm sure it's, okay, let's take it easy. I'm okay. In game time situations, obviously he ain't got what it takes on the free throw line.
Will Chamberlain used to tell a story that back in the day, he would drain like 20 straight free throws in practice, go out in the game and shoot 50%. He went to therapy, actually, for his free throw shooting. And he said by the time we left therapy, his therapist was a better free throw shooter than he was.
Golly.
Right, so there's definitely like a psychological component to shooting free throws that kind of goes under the radar when people talk about it.
That was one thing, and when I played ball, that was kind of my one thing. It's like I wasn't the best free throw shooter to be a guard. Like, I really wasn't. I wasn't that good at free throws. Like, I could say that my one thing I would say my kryptonite was free throws. I mean, I would when I needed to make them, I would make them. But if I was just going to shoot a free throw, if it's just second quarter, 3 minutes to play, I'm probably gonna miss that. Now,
See,
two minutes left for the quarter. I'm money. I ain't missing. I don't care if I got a dog bite my leg. I ain't missing.
I just can't shoot. I was I couldn't hit free throws, but I couldn't hit jump shots either, so it wasn't and no skin off my back. I'm a defense guy.
Oh, dude, that was awesome.
About that mechanic right there. I don't have that, but I'll chase you around the court all day. You ain't scoring on me.
I'll throw up all over you too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious. I just didn't shoot. Oh, God. Yeah, I know all about your defense.
There was one time I always hated getting put in that situation where you're on a fast break and you just have like a wide open lane. And that, to me, is more pressure than a free throw. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't mess this up. And, dude, I had that and I dribbled it right off my foot. Out of bounds, taking it out of half court. I was like, dang it.
Hey, Garrett, why don't you come on? Right there.
Yeah. Like, all right, coach, my bad. I'll go back to the bench.
Gosh, that is hilarious, dude. Believe me, I know all about your elbows and your hardcore hands to the face. I know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know your defense. I know your defensive ways. The only person who could ever stop me from dunking on them was you.
Hey, a fist to the face never hurt.
Elbow to the mouth, and I swear to you, you'll act like a different person. You'll have some respect.
There was one time, not to dwell on our athletic careers too much, but I got checked up in CYB for putting my hand in somebody's face, trying to like cover their eyes while they're taking it out. Dude, the referee got pissed.
Like, dude, chill. Dang, ref. You're taking stuff serious.
They didn't think of it first.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
So a lot of people are going off on Giannis and Dame right now for wetting the bed last night, as they should. But how much blame do you think Doc Rivers should take for this?
I mean, it's not Doc Rivers' game to close out. Coaching wise, I mean, he gives them the game plan. That's about all he can do. I mean, he can't make the shots for them. Can't really blame him in that situation. I mean, you're up 19 with 7 to play. You got the nastiest guard center combination in the league. You got one of the best 4s and 3s you have in the league as well with Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton. Like, I can't really put anything on Doc. I mean, maybe he could have prepared better. I mean, maybe put a better defensive plan out or run a different play on offense. But other than that, I mean, I can't really point a finger at him.
I mean, I didn't watch the game. Maybe he did do this, but I haven't. As much as I have seen him catch some flack, I'm guessing he didn't. But, like, when you're up 19 and all of a sudden that lead gets cut down to, like, 11 or, like, 9, that's when, as a coach, I feel like you got to call timeouts. But, look, guys, like, I can tell we're on quicksand right here. Like, let's get at it. Like, you're Giannis Antetokounmpo. There's 5 minutes left. Like, take us home.
Yeah. And I wasn't watching it at that time either. So, I mean, I really have no idea if he did or not. Which, I mean, knowing Doc Rivers, God, I'm sure he did. I hope he would. I mean, he's a better coach than that. But, hey, every dog has their day. I mean,
that is true.
You see it just like the Hawks and just like the Lakers. I mean, without Trae Young, without LeBron, like, hey, maybe these dudes can ball. You just got to give them a chance. They're NBA for a reason.
Now, what expectations do you have for the Bucks right now? Because
if you're not Eastern Conference,
everybody was talking about them like finals or bust, but they're 10 games back from the Celtics about.
Yeah, they're not catching the Celtics. I mean, if you're not in the Eastern Conference Finals, then that's a bust season. At least Eastern Conference Finals, because you're not going to have to play the Celtics until the Eastern Conference Finals. You'll be on the opposite ends of this bracket seeding or whatever they call it. So, I mean, if you're not in the at least Eastern Conference Finals, then that's a bust. Got to be.
Now, going back to the Celtics, do you think it's a bust for them if they don't make the finals?
Yeah, if they don't make the finals this year, it's a bust.
I
You
agree with
can't
you.
you can't be 10 to 11 games up at 57 and 15 and all that stuff. The best 3-point shooting in the league and the team in the league and all that stuff. And do that all season long, and then get to the Eastern Conference playoffs. And if you get beat first round, second round, or finals, whatever you want to call it, if you lose, that's a bust.
I mean, if you think about it, people have been waiting for the Celtics to break out ever since the 2018 Eastern Conference
Yeah.
Finals when they took LeBron to Game 7. That was
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
And in that time, they've made one finals and got beat pretty thoroughly by the Warriors. What was it, a 6-game series?
Yeah. Beat.
They got beat there. And, like, other than that, like, it's about to the point where if they don't win or at least make the finals again in the next year or two, like, the Celtics are going to have to do some pretty serious soul searching about what their future is and why they can't capitalize.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it. You just paid you just paid Jaylen Brown the biggest contract in NBA. So when comes time to re-sign, you're gonna either have to re-sign him for twice as much as Jaylen Brown. You're gonna have to get rid of the whole team and play with two players. It's like
Yeah.
you got two options here, Celtics, and you're gonna have to give up one of your stars. You're gonna have to.
And all I know is if somehow the duo of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum never end up winning a championship, that is just not something I would have put on my bingo card 3 years ago.
No way. I figured they would have at least already won one by now.
Yeah, I did too. Like, especially after 2018 when LeBron left the Eastern Conference, I was like, this is the Celtics' conference now.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really been that since then. I mean, Brooklyn and the Bucks were factors there for a while. They've they've definitely been competitive, but not far and away the best team until now. And we'll see if
it really just comes down to the Bucks and the Celtics in the East. There's no other competition like they are. I really don't see.
Dude, the 76ers are the 8th seed right now. Like, all that talk over the summer about, like, James Harden and Embiid being a dynamic duo, then, like, James Harden leaving, dude, that killed them.
I'd like to see the Clippers win it all this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, talk about somebody that it's either time to win one or blow it up. The Clippers, like, James Harden,
Russ, and Harden.
Like, that is essentially the team whose tagline minus Kawhi is always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Like all those good older players who never won a ring and Kawhi just team up to try to get them one.
Exactly. And that's the other reason I'd like to see him. I'd just like to see Russ get one and PG to get one. That'd be sick.
Like, Harden?
I mean, yeah, it would be cool to see James Harden get one, but I don't really care.
The more everybody gets a ring, though, does that not kind of devalue what a championship ring is? Like, I feel like it just kind of condones ring chasing culture.
Yeah. I mean, but that's what they're there to do.
It is, but I mean, if you look at like the 90s, like that's what distinguishes like the really good players, like a Charles Barkley, like Karl Malone, John Stockton level players from the like GOAT, like Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, like that. That was what made them a cut above the rest. If you look at the people now, like there's a lot more saturation of like everybody seems to have one, literally except for those three players on the Clippers plus Chris Paul.
Yeah.
But the only person from the like LeBron era I can think of who's retired without rings are D Rose and Carmelo.
Yeah, those are the only two.
Other than that, everybody made out like a bandit in LeBron's era.
Yeah, I mean basically everybody did now that I think about it. Except Chris Paul. Yeah, except those three. Dang.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty wild.
And Russ played with LeBron and dude, that's crazy.
James Harden twice, John Wall, like Russ or Bradley Beal, like Russ has played with some good players. PG Russ had that big three in OKC for 2 years.
That was crazy.
Like, they've
I
definitely
think
had
OKC is the new team to watch out for, though. The Thunder are definitely like the new young bucks of the league.
there's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's not anything to sneeze at.
Dude, he's crazy good, and he has so many good, like, talented players around him that just work off his game so well. It's crazy how good they are this year.
Now, I know we want to talk about wrestling. Minor side tangent. Did you see Adam Silver talked about the All-Star game publicly for the first time since it happened? He essentially said that he thought the players weren't trying to be disrespectful, that they were just trying to go out there and have fun and goof around, and that they've looked at doing a Team America versus foreign team instead of East versus West to kind of make the All-Star game more exciting, but that they've also looked at just not doing a scrimmage game, just doing three-point dunk contest, stuff like that.
Right. Which, either way, I mean, now I guess I'm at the point now with NBA to where I've seen so many trash All-Star games that I really don't even care for it anymore. Like, it doesn't bother me if they have the three-point contest, the dunk contest. It's just not what it used to be. I'll say that.
No. It'd be fun if they had an old-timers game like baseball used to.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be cool if some of, like, the older legends play some scrimmage. They probably play harder than the freaking actual All-Stars would.
You know they would. You know they would.
But, yeah, just thought it was worth mentioning that. And just to get into Monday Night Raw, it was probably one of the best Raws that I've seen in years. Main two segments to touch on. The Rock was not supposed to be on tonight's episode, or Monday's episode. At the very least, he wasn't announced ahead of time like he usually is. Cody Rhodes out there cutting his opening promo. Rock comes out, walks up to him, doesn't have a microphone. He just says something, and they don't say what it was, but if you go back and read his lips, what he said was, "I'm going to make you bleed," and then he left.
Because that's what he whispered to him in the ring.
Yeah.
I watched that one day.
2 weeks ago, The Rock told Cody Rhodes he was going to make him bleed, put his blood on a belt, and give that belt to Cody Rhodes' mom at WrestleMania. Mama Rhodes.
Oh, that's so hard.
That is hard. And, dude, in the main event, The Rock made good on half of his promise. Cody Rhodes was out there trying to protect Jey Uso from The Rock's family who was interfering in the main event match. Ended up brawling with him backstage, and while he's duking it out with Jimmy Uso, The Rock jumps him from behind, just beats him all over the backstage area, takes him out in the rain in the parking lot, hits his head against the semi-truck that they have driving around. And you know he was beating him against Cody's own semi-truck because Cody has a picture of his dog on the side of it. And if you've been keeping up on social media, The Rock has been going after Cody Rhodes' dog so much. He said the dog is stupid. He's ugly. Like, I don't know, been trashing Cody's dog. Cody actually on Raw last week, he brought his dog, and on the collar it said The Rock is a cat.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. Well, The Rock got the last laugh tonight. Ended it up. He busted Cody open, took his weight belt, wiped it on Cody's forehead, and the weight belt said Mama Rhodes on it.
Mm-hmm.
And, dude, just a plain old good fight that you love to see on
The Rock said no more PG era.
Yeah, dude, he was dropping F-bombs. Like, it was wild.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Do not F with the final boss. That was the big takeaway from last night.
Yeah, the big one.
And then the other major segment was Raw was in Chicago on Monday. So because of that, they had to bring out CM Punk. He's recovering from a triceps injury, so will not be at WrestleMania. Well, he won't be wrestling at WrestleMania, but they did announce that he'll be doing commentary for the world title match. And he got into it with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, and they had some heck of a one-liners thrown at each other. CM Punk, he spent the last 2 years, he's been injured for all but like 4 months of it. And if anybody's followed CM Punk's career, they know that him being a straight edge, like he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, any of that stuff, like that's a big part of his personality. And Drew McIntyre told him, for somebody who's straight edge, he sure has spent a lot of time in rehab lately.
Oh, God. A low blow.
Dude, that was a very low blow. CM Punk went lower. Drew mentioned he was the chosen one because back when he first started up in like 2009, that was his thing, was that Vince McMahon had crowned him like the next face of the WWE. And all Drew said was, "I'm the chosen one." And CM Punk goes, who chose you? Say his name. What paragon of virtue was it that chose you? And you could hear the fans just started laughing. And Drew, because they're not allowed to say Vince McMahon's name on television anymore.
No.
And so Drew was like, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. And he just kind of gave him that look like, you got me there.
Yeah. Good one. That's awesome.
I love to see stuff like that when they can take the real life stuff and
big
get a little edgy with it.
That's awesome. CM Punk's always been good at that stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, throw PG out the window. Let's get some rated R WWE back.
Yes, please, God.
So next week we're gonna have to go more in depth because we've only got one more week before WrestleMania, which me and you will be there in person.
I'm excited. I don't think you understand. I mean,
dude, I'm pumped too. First time in Philadelphia, your first time flying, dude. So first WrestleMania,
so many first.
It'll be a heck of a thing to see. We'll be sure to make a lot of videos while we're together, so be on the lookout on social media for that.
Yep.
And it'll be a lot of firsts for us. Hopefully Cody Rhodes can win his first WWE Championship. And with that, we will leave y'all for next week.
Have a good one, folks. Appreciate you.
Yep. See y'all.
See you, buddy.